Thank you, Mr. Narendra, and thank you, m2m and IoT Forum, for the opportunity to speak here and address a group of like-minded people who are interested in technology and how it is evolving. Before I begin speaking, I'll play a quick video about what we are as a company and what we do. That was just a brief video to share with you what we try to do as a company. At the core of what we do is we are an IoT engine. And as you guys have seen all over the last 2 days, when you talk about IoT, everybody is pretty much similar in the 90,000 foot level. You have hardware devices, you have cloud, you have apps. The detail and devil starts coming down as you go further and further into the depth of the solutions that are offered. There used to be a time when a company would say, I have a website. It used to be something unique. Then everybody had a website. Then it is now, last few years it is, I have an app. Now practically everybody has an app. So I believe that IoT will be very similar. Practically every company, every individual might have their own cloud, might have their own apps, may have their own even hardware at the end of the day. So what instead of talking a little bit more about the specifics of the solution, I'll talk a little bit more about the philosophy that we have followed in developing our IoT platform. Largely what we have looked at is much of IoT enablement will have to happen to the existing infrastructure. That is, new things, new buildings, new houses, new appliances, etc. are coming in a small percentage of the overall base. 90% plus is what is existing today. So we have tried to focus on how could we enable and retrofit existing situations so that people can ad hoc start enabling IoT, enabling a variety of devices, whether it be switches, whether it be motors, whether it be pumps, in a diverse set of situations. So we have tried to focus mostly on the retrofitability, because I think just looking at the new world, your new washing machine being on the net is not sufficient. It's a lot of other things that need to get on the net in order for it to be meaningful for people to be able to do something with them. So that's one philosophy that we have tried to adopt. The second we have tried to adopt is in designing our platform. The second philosophy that we have tried to adopt is basically try to minimize disruption. Technologies are intended to be disruptive, but they're intended to be disruptive in a way that helps people. So to give you an example here, if you go to a hospital today and say, I can introduce a new IoT-based nurse call system, which will allow nurses, even when they're not in front of their station as they're going about, to be able to be informed about the patient's call or something like that. But by the way, in order to do that, give me access to these individual rooms for about half a day. The first thing the hospital operator tells you is that your cost plus half a day cost of this hospital room not worth my time, because it's not just the cost of the products that go in, it's the revenue lost for them for that half a day to a day that starts to weigh in on implementing these type of solutions. So another approach that we have tried to take is to say you have to be in and out quickly. So in and out quickly basically means that you have to be able to fit into a lot of existing spaces. Mostly the most trivial things are the things that trip you up. When you open the switch, you see a mess, you have to fit inside behind the switch like it is. So your sizing has to be appropriate. You have to be agnostic to what is around you. You can't obviously implement by calling a mason and dig a hole and then fill the hole again. And those kinds of things are not feasible in India, especially given the fact that even when a new building is being built, there's no planning or not much planning around it. So there's definitely not going to be anything for existing situations. No drawings are available, nothing is available. So it's a lot of minimize the disruption, find a solution that can go in and go out. The person can go in and go out quickly. And the last philosophy that we have adopted is flexibility. Flexibility comes in many forms. And in our view of flexibility, what we have done with our solution is that we have tried to see that that the solution is applicable in diverse segments. To give you an example, in an Indian home, you could have 3 generations. The younger one who wants to use nothing but the smartphone, and the elderly who want to do nothing with the smartphone. Right? So how do you enable this kind of flexibility that multiple parties may be able to participate in the same outcome, but not necessarily be forced to do it? Some still want the physical switch and they don't want it to fail, even if the device behind it fails. So when we talk about automation in the Indian context, you have to account for these type of situations and fulfill that requirement. In some cases, we have seen that it's not possible to put Wi-Fi across an entire building, even though you have an IoT solution. So part of it may need to be wired at low cost, part of it may need to be Wi-Fi. So it's a mix and match, and your solution needs to be flexible enough to be able to accommodate these type of situations. So we have tried to adopt the flexibility. So the 3 things we have is retrofit, as much as possible, fit into a retrofit, be flexible, and be less disruptive in deploying the solution. So our goal is, even though you saw examples of a residential space being enabled by this, the intent is it's an IoT engine that can service industrial spaces, basically put sensors on motors, compressors, so that if there is an event such as an overheating of a pump or a vibration of a pump, the appropriate party can be responded, the mechanic can be informed that such and such a thing has happened, go turn the machine off or turn the machine off using your smartphone. So it's a platform that enables all of these wide variety of different types of situations. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we do as a company, and that's what our philosophy has been in developing products. Flexibility, usually when it means with flexibility, I want to bring this up, there's always a cost. So for me to be able to develop a product as a startup, to create flexibility, I have to add things to it. So it'll work for somebody and somebody else. So there's a cost to it, but we have personally taken the decision to absorb the cost because we are not sure exactly how the markets are going to evolve. We don't know what solutions will take and what will not take. And that's probably true of a lot of us here. We are more sure about the technology evolving, but we're not sure about the direction in which it will evolve and what is going to stick. So we have taken as a startup the underlying philosophy that we will try to balance and try to create flexible solutions. So that's kind of in a nutshell who we are and what we do. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here, and look forward. It was an enjoyable forum. I hope it was the same for you.